What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the Online Jamily? This, of course, here is Jamiroquai 2000 with another funny story from my week in England from 2023. And for anybody who's initiated in this new limited series I'm doing here on my channel, I'm recounting some of the funny stories and some of the interesting things that happened to me during my week in England, most recently between August 22nd through the 27th, attending the Victorious Festival, enjoying the warm hearth of the British hospitality of the UK Jamily, and many other adventures I had during that time. So if you've not had a chance to go check out my vlogs from that week in England, going to Victorious Festival to enjoy Jamiroquai live, be sure to keep your eyes on to watch that playlist. And I do just so happen to have some bonus footage being added to that playlist this coming week of the, I believe the second week of September 2023. So keep your eyes out for that. Now, to this series, I do have another funny story or interesting memory from my week in England that I decided to share with you in the Online Jamily. And as I did as the first two episodes of the series, the first episode was rather embarrassing. The second episode was kind of harrowing, but this one was actually very, very joyfully unexpected and absolutely amazing. And I'll set you the picture. On my second day to England, actually, I should say the day. A day before the festival, the Victorious Festival in Portsmouth, England, on August 25th. On August 24th, my friend Jan and several other friends of the Jamily decided to take me on the tour of London. Now, like I said at the beginning of this series, this trip to England was my first international trip, and some of the band members couldn't believe that a seasoned Jamiroquai Jamily member like me, this would be his first international trip. But I do not have the luxury of expendable income like a lot of my fellow Americans, so it took me a while to save some money to afford airfare to go over to the UK and to get a passport and to enjoy just being outside of the United States and seeing the absolute beautiful marvels of the world. And London is an absolutely gorgeous city, and the people are so generously hospitous. They're all so lovely, and they're so obliging, and they're so polite. And that's my first reaction to the British people, was their absolute hospitality and being understanding. And if you ever have a question, they would stop and they answer the question for you. But London was a bewilderingly beautiful and utopian metropolitan environment, and I had an amazing time being led by my friend Jan, as I previously discussed in a previous episode here, who had hosted me for this week in England. But we went all around London. I got to see the Houses of Parliament. I got to see Big Ben. I got to see the London Eye. For any of you who don't know what the London Eye is, it is that gigantic Ferris wheel right on the banks of the River Thames, and absolutely amazing. We also met up with another one of my old friends of the Jamily, who I've known for decades, but I've never met outside of social media. My friend Wolf. It was great to see him. And like I said, we went all around London. We went to Camden Town, which is just an amazing commercial district. I got to see two of the major music venues in London. The first, of course, has a connection with Jamiroquai, the Acid Jazz Cafe in London. I actually got to see that. I took pictures of it. Hopefully in the future, if I do go back to England, I would love to go see some artists perform at the Acid Jazz Cafe. Then we also got to check out the other classic jazz music venue in London called Ronnie Scott's. Absolutely amazing, legendary jazz venue for a lot of music. And then we ended up going for a meal at a vegan restaurant. And what makes this story rather funny is my friend Jan had been hinting that I might be meeting another member of the Jamily who I've never met in real life, who is one of the cornerstones of the Online Jamily, a lovely lady by the name of Esby, otherwise known in the line as Esby. She had been hinting that she was going to have a surprise guest at this meal at this vegan restaurant, which of course was called Mildred's. And I've never had vegan food before, and vegan food, very, very good. The restaurant was absolutely top-notch. So we're sitting there in this really, really busy vegan restaurant, and Jan's still on the cell phone. Oh, I wonder when this mystery guest is going to arrive. She's on the cell phone. So apparently that mystery guest, got misdirected to the wrong location of this vegan restaurant chain. Apparently it's a very popular chain within London, so there are several locations, so that person accidentally went to the wrong location. So there was a little bit of downtime while we waited at that table in that restaurant, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to go use the bathroom. And what I didn't realize is the bathroom was 4 flights of stairs up from the main restaurant. I was not expecting this, so I walk around the corner, I go up to the stairs, and it's like 1 flight of steps. I go, okay, bathroom's 1 flight of steps up. Then it turned into 2. And then it turned into 3. And then it turned into a bewildering 4th flight of steps. And then I get to the bathroom, very, very small. And then I use the bathroom doing my thing, and then I realize I have to go back down 4 flights of steps. And I'm very physically conscious. I'm in good shape for my age, being pre-elderly and whatever, as I hilariously call it. So I went back down that 4 flight of steps, back to the restaurant. My friend Jan is there, and Wolf is there, and we're waiting for the secret guest. So I go back to the table and I sit down. I have a little beverage, and then all of a sudden, walking into the restaurant, unexpectedly, was not my friend SB, but get ready for this, and I'm sure you saw some of the pictures on my Instagram, on my social media about that day. It was former Jamiroquai bassist Stuart Zender. I was not expecting this. And I do plan on sharing a video, on probably some of my rare footage, down the road here on my channel. But I'm sitting there, and then Stuart comes in. I glance up and I go, I do the goofiest, absolutely goofiest response to an unexpected coolness or an unexpected moment. I go, Stu? Oh my God, Stu. And Stu comes over and gives me the warmest embrace. My friend Jan's recording like, oh, this is so beautiful. My friend Wolf's like, oh, isn't that nice? And Stuart was there. And I've never met Stuart before. I've talked to Stuart several times on social media, but he came all the way down to meet me, have some great fan discussions, and then he proceeded to give us a tour of London, follow along with us. He is one of the most funny, genuinely lovely people I've ever met, at least formally, of Jamiroquai. And it was an absolute honor and privilege to meet Stuart. And he was nothing but absolutely a lovely person, very open-minded, very much a free spirit, but he was absolutely awesome. And he would follow along with us for the rest of our tour of London, going around London. We went to Sony Soho Square, if you don't know where that is. That is the famous original headquarters for the Sony music label back from the 90s, where Jamiroquai and their band members actually signed their first album contract when they jumped from Acid Jazz Records to Sony Music in 1993. But sadly, Sony did move their headquarters out of that famous square, but the building is still there, and it was really cool to see that. And he came with us to Ronnie Scott's. We get to hang out at Ronnie Scott's, and he was with us for for the rest of our tour of London until we unfortunately had to separate and go back our separate ways. But I want to send a massive thank you to Stuart Zender for being such a lovely, free spirit, lovely gentleman, and for being such an amazing tour guide around London. It was amazing to meet him, and I hopefully, fingers crossed, might be doing stuff with him in the future, mostly on a promotion sense. But it was amazing that he took the time to come out and meet me. He didn't have to do that. But I appreciate it, and it warmed my heart, and it warmed all my friends' heart that they could make this happen. And I had talked. The irony was, had sent a message to Stuart that I was coming to England late August, and apparently Jan behind my back and him got it planned out, and he came out to meet us. So absolutely amazing time. But yeah, that's another funny or interesting story from my week in England from 2023. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I do have 2 more episodes I plan to record to release here on my channel in the future, so keep your eyes out for those videos very soon. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you like what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to ding the bell on your YouTube to stay up to date on all the latest new content coming from the Jamiroquai 2000 YouTube channel. I will try to be bringing you more new content as it becomes available. But as always, this is Jamiroquai 2000. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again really soon with more funny stories and memories from my time in England from 2023. Bye-bye, everybody, and take care.